Thank you for starting us off nicely, James, with that one.
And we're live.
And we're live. Everybody, fancy a bum?
Everyone likes bum.
Of course we do.
James, can you say hello to everybody in Dutch, please?
Hello.
Hallo.
Fucking wanker. So this is, I think, the first time in quite a long time that we've had the entire Dutch Beer Collective together in one live stream.
Yeah.
It's been too long.
Plus guest. Our honorary member of the Dutch Beer Collective.
Yep.
And maybe the craziest one.
Definitely
for sure.
Definitely the best looking. No, he's definitely the best looking one. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's for sure.
That's for sure. Who's the craziest, Douglas?
He's making it a little less ugly.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But Douglas, who would you say is the craziest of us?
Me, I'm alle eten, of course.
Yeah, this is true.
Yeah.
This is completely true. James, would you like to, because we all got the beer from you, would you like to tell us a thing or two about what we're drinking tonight?
All right. Okay. Well, this is one of the beers that I gave to everybody, and this is from a brewery who are very, very local to me. So this comes from Hyllie Bryggeri, who are from Malmö. Hyllie is like a kind of I forget whether it's a separate town or a kind of district of Malmö, but it's very distinguishable because of the water tower there that sits on the top of this. And whenever you take the train through Hyllie on the way over from Copenhagen or the way to Copenhagen, you'll see the water tower. But this one is the Skånsk lager, basically the Scanian lager, I guess, if you translate it into English. But yeah, 5.2% ABV, this one. And this is genuinely one of the best lagers that I've found in Sweden so far. These guys do a lot of really nice IPAs. The Hyllie is probably their best known beer, which is like an old school West Coast Citrus Simcoe US05 yeast. And I was nearly bringing that to you. If this hadn't been released a few months before, then you would have got the Hyllie instead of this one. But this is the best lager that I've found in Sweden, I think, so far. And I kind of wanted an excuse to drink it with you again, so that's why I suggested the live stream thing.
Well, this is a lot of fun because, you know, with the stricter restrictions that we're having here in the Netherlands right now, this is a great opportunity to just still have a drink with friends. So that's still a good thing, I'd say. Just out of curiosity, can everybody hear and see each other quite well? No.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, then quickly, just a lot of people saying hello. Craft beer specialist Willy Muif, Jeroen and Menno van Zeeland, Martijn de Boer, René Jansie, Wilfred. René is wishing us good luck with the pronunciation. I would love to try that at one moment. Ook gelijk tijdens stream van Dutch Bargain aan het volgen. Even kijken of dat... Oh, well, there's a Dutch brewery doing a live stream right now.
Watch that.
Yeah,
we're
on Facebook.
much more fun. No, on Facebook. We're much more fun. So I'd love to try if how much I'm butchering up this one. En balancerat luslage e hele stil. Gjort bij Svensk pilsnermalt och tisk hersbruker hymne. Inge klikt her ente en helft vänlig bira. Fuck me what I just said. But anyway, it is what I know it from what I can gather from this, though. It's a helle style. It's a helle style lager with basically Pilsner malt and Hersbrucker hop. They're calling it a Inge klikt her ente en vänlig, like a light beer. I think they're calling it, like a light but refreshing beer. Could that be right, James?
Yeah, I think it means it's not hazy. And Inge Kleed, into, yeah, and helt vanlig beer, a big normal beer. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, vanlig is like normal. Yeah, it wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah,
he speaks every language.
Yeah. How about we crack this bad boy open then?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Gerben, could you show us how you open this bottle?
I already did. Sorry, I had to take a picture and streaming
cool.
this
You
with
have
my
to
phone,
sip it.
so
If I was in the same position, I would have as well.
I see. I was wondering then if Herben had a very erotic way of opening it between his breasts or something.
That's why I've got a second phone.
Kinky.
It's
have
Remy.
all that
Remy
luxury.
brings out all the raw energy in me.
Yeah, oh,
It's got a nice cold color, guys.
Mm.
Nice
Yeah,
white
it
head.
It looks beautiful.
Looks good.
I actually just, sorry, because I do understand where Gerben's coming from, I just took a quick picture for the social media shit, so I do understand where Gerben's coming from.
yeah, sorry.
Gerben.
Yeah, we got the same glass. Douglas, what's your glass?
I have a Pils glass.
Okay.
there's only,
Cool.
only one glassware.
All right. But yeah, onto the color then. That is as clear can be.
Clear.
Like a soft, chill haze, maybe.
Yeah.
And quite low carbonation, I'd say, actually.
Yeah, I mean, it's got a good little bit visible, but yeah, it's kind of,
Tame.
it's like proper nice kind of hellish lager beer. This one, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if I remember rightly, this one actually has local Skånsk malt in it as well. So the malt that's in this beer is actually from Skåne in South Sweden. I think that's the main reason they call it the Skånsk lager, if I remember correctly. Could be wrong, but
Okay.
It's got a gorgeous color, but really, guys, just go for that nose. Quickly do, because you don't want to deprive yourself of this.
Mm.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Very crispy. Fresh.
That is crispy. That is one crispy boy.
And see, one of the things I always say about beers like this is you want to rate them in terms of authenticity. And this is, I think, one of the most authentic non-German, non-Czech kind of hellish lager beers that I've found.
Totally
and this
agree.
is one of the things that really got me with this. From aroma to taste.
It's got that very soft, faint sulfuric note, swavel, very faint sulfur thing going on in the background, and then that intensely crisp, malty, crispy, crackery, biscuity thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, I think this one, you've got that lovely, a lot of the nose is about the kind of feel of it, to be honest. Like it's quite, it's the kind of almost crisp Pilsner malts you get out of it, but then you've got that biscuity, that McVitie's digestive biscuity thing going on with it.
Yeah.
I want to see carapils all the way.
Do you guys also smell some hoppy notes?
Soft,
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. It's got that sort of grassy, citrusy, soft citrus.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in the back.
Oh yeah,
It's very light. Yeah.
It's definitely malt forward. This is definitely a hellish.
I'm eager for the taste, you guys.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, me too.
I want to.
Cheers.
I want to say cheers, everybody. Go for
Cheers,
it.
guys.
James,
And,
thank you very much for giving me this beer.
Yeah.
Thank you, James.
Thank
No
you.
worries.
James.
Prost.
Yeah.
Prost.
Oh my.
Wow. Nice bitterness also.
Ooh.
That's good. That's a good bit of
This
backend,
is
but
very good.
Yeah.
So crushable, this.
that is that lovely yeasty, bready, quite dry.
Yeah, and it has a sweetness, but not like that. Not like that Mediterranean sweetness.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, they have another beer as well that is called Fien Pilsner, and that's very dry. The Fien Pilsner is a lot drier than this one is.
Really?
Yeah. Because if I hadn't been able to get Skånsk lager, because I wasn't sure, you either would have got Hyllie or Fien Pilsner. But these guys, in my opinion, they really know what they're doing with lagers. They really know what they're doing. So
So do they only brew lagers, or
No, they do quite a lot. At the moment, they've got a series called Labs, which is there's a new one every month. They've just released like a nitro stout this month. They've had a black IPA last month. They had like a West Coast double IPA, and what was the other one? I forget what the other one was, but yeah, the number 4 Labs. So yeah, every month or two they release a new beer. But yeah.
The nitro stout, is that a 4-course stout or a stout with adjuncts?
I actually don't know. I've not seen the recipe for it yet. I have not. My one hasn't arrived in the shop yet. The order's there, but it's not arrived yet. But yeah.
Anyway, I'm loving this beer. I'd love to go like a clockwise. So if I start with Remy and then Gerben, I'd like to go like what's everybody's opinion on the beer? Remy, do you want to start?
Yeah, it's a very good beer. It's what I in the smell a little bit crisp. It's a little bit malty, but it tastes very fresh. It's a little bit light, but it's amazing. It a little bit of haze. I can drink this all day.
Oh yeah, I totally agree. All day, every day.
Great beer.
Gerben, what would you say?
Yeah, it's got that really nice bready, crackery, malty thing going on. Not overpowering it, but it's really subtle. And like Raymond said, it's really crispy. Some citrus notes as well. Yeah, totally crushable. Yeah, I really love it.
Absolutely. James?
Oh, it's as good as I remember it. It's like a very. It's got a lot of, for me, it's got a lot of Pilsner quality to it, because of the level of crispness that it has. But it does have a wee bit of that slightly sweeter Helles type backbone. It's got a little bit of that kind of Dortmunder Helles thing, I think. And like I say, when it comes to lager beers, you want them to be authentic, and I think this one ticks all the boxes in terms of authenticity. I still think this is one of the best non-German or non-Czech sort of lagers that you're going to come across.
Totally
well
agree.
Said.
Yeah.
Yeah, Douglas?
Especially with the nice combination of the a little sweetness, but also the bitterness and the dryness makes you want to drink forever. You want to keep drinking this.
Yeah, I agree.
If a lager is too sweet, this is so much better.
If I were to drink a normal Pilsner, I want a bit more of that sort of hoppy bitterness and a little less of that sweetness. But again, in the style, the Helles style, this thing does exactly what it needs to be. It's got that crispy feeling. It's got sweet. It's like semi-sweet, semi-dry. It's like in between there. It's got this lovely little floral. I'm not familiar with Hersbrucke hop. I don't know if James is, but it's got this soft, this soft aromatic touch to it. That in a style like this, the hops will always be there for the bittering. Slight aroma touches, but it just has the faintest aroma of that fresh cut grass. It's got that sort of floral thing going on. It's got that citrusy note. Dare I say, maybe in the background, a slight peppery thing going on, like a bit of white pepper. Like a bit of a.
This
and the only.
Sorry.
I just wanted to say I only have one problem with this beer.
Yeah.
And that's it's 330 centiliters. I need this in 500 milliliter bottles all day, every day. I need to have a few of these.
Yeah, this needs to be a 440 or a 330. So it needs to be a 440 or a 500 mil.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You wanted to say, Remy?
Yeah, this is brewed with corn, I see.
Is it?
Yeah, corn malt. Is that
that's barley malt. That's how they say barley malt.
Oh, okay.
Corn malt is barley malt. So yeah, it's not in Swedish. Corn is maize.
Yeah, maize.
Same for us. That's why we think, and because we think that corn in English is maize. That's why we thought that. I used to think the same thing, Remy, the corn malt that it had, but it's apparently.
Yeah, but if you I drink if I drink a Pilsner, I drink Hertog Jan, and that's also brewed with maize. So it makes the beer a little bit sweeter, than a Heineken or Amstel. This is a little bit sweeter too, but not extremely sweet. It's perfect. It's
just that soft hint of sweetness.
I don't know what you think, guys, but I wouldn't say creamy, but it has a rich mouthfeel. I really like that.
Yeah. I think a lot of this is down to the malt, because the malt is actually produced here in Skåne. And that's maybe why it feels a little bit different to you guys, is because it's Swedish malt that's in here. Because I remember thinking that as well. It was the malty side of this beer is really, really nice, but it is like a Reinheitsgebot beer. It doesn't have corn and stuff in it, and that's what really impressed me with it originally. So but as I say, I think this is I've had quite a few good lager beers from Swedish breweries over the last little while, but I still think this is one of the best ones. I think this probably is the best one, I think.
And the availability of this beer, is it in every supermarket in Sweden, or?
I actually don't know. I really don't know about this. I got this from, we obviously have the nationalized system in Sweden, Systembolaget. So you can order this to any Systembolaget store throughout the whole country. But as for it being on the shelf, I don't know. Probably it's on the shelf because I picked this up in Malmö, and the brewery's from the south side of Malmö. So I think in Skåne, it will be, the bigger shops will quite likely have this. In Malmö, most of them will have it, but then anywhere else you can order it on the internet and they bring it to the shop for free. So okay. Here's the thing. I think this is an interesting point as well. How much would you guys pay for a Pilsner beer or lager beer like this in the Netherlands?
You mean like for one bottle?
Yeah.
I think €1 40 cents.
Okay.
No, I think in general, I think what I would be willing to pay, is that what you mean? Or what do you think this would go for?
What would it go for? What would it go for?
I think the average...
a craft pills.
If I were to look at the average craft lager being brewed, I think this would probably go for like €3, €3.50. Something like that.
I think somewhere in between 1.50 and €2.
No, come on. If Jopen were to brew this, I think Jopen's Madsen, for example, the La La Land, I think that's like €2.50, €3.
That's right.
Okay.
So looking for a craft lager, no, this would be around that €2.50, €3, maybe €3.50. Why do you ask?
Well, I was thinking because the price I paid is 23 Swedish kroners for this. For each bottle, so that is about €2.30.
That's nice.
And that's
price.
And I mean, the thing is, we'll pay for a can of, like Stigbergets. Well, you guys got the 330s, but the Stigbergets, if we had the 440s of that, we would pay around €4, between €4 and €4.50 for those. So the nationalised system actually makes the craft beer quite cheap here.
That would be very expensive, but
well, if you go to Denmark, the prices are more because it's the free market, if you like. But in Sweden, Systembolaget is run it's a non-profit. So you've got higher labor costs and stuff like that in Norway. But if you actually buy the beers, then it's cheap, and you add like an extra euro basically if the beer's an import. So we'll pay like an extra euro for a Danish beer or a Norwegian beer or something, generally speaking.
Okay.
And this is like a standard bottling for this brewery, right? This is almost always available, or is this like they brew it every now and then?
It seems to still be available. It was released as one of the local. Every month in Sweden, they release all the Swedish breweries, they can release beers on the 1st of the month. And this was released, I think, back in like July or something. And I think it's still available. And then when I reviewed this first, I said to the brewery, you need to make this a regular beer because this is like stupidly good. And it still seems to be available. So I think they've kind of turned it into a regular beer in the Skånsk area. It's quite difficult because the rules are changing a little bit with Systembolaget just now. It used to be very difficult to make a beer regular, but these days it seems to be a lot more easy.
Well, I would say that it would be a good lager, like a Helles, a Pilsner, a Kolsch, whatever. A Kolsch isn't a lager, excuse me. Kolsch is not a lager. But those types of beer, they're pretty challenging to brew. They're not very easy, but I understand that for the effort involved, many craft brewers won't put this in their standard lineup. Because the demand is low. At least here in the Netherlands, demand is low for craft lager. What's it like in Sweden?
Well, actually, in the shops, when you go in there, you've got the beer section is almost split. You've got it split into lagers and ales. And there's about between 1/3 and a half of the section is lager.
Okay.
So, and then the other half is like all the ales and craft beers and stuff like that. So,
Yeah, but also, is that like macro lagers and craft lager, or just macro lager?
It's a mixture of everything. You've got the craft lagers, then you've got the things like Spaten, Pilsner Urquell, and all the local Swedish stuff like this, Seabarps, all the other kind of things too. So they mix all the lagers together. They kind of treat lager as a separate product to ale, actually.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, guys. Since we tried to keep this under half an hour and we're at 22 minutes, how about we go the other way around now? And final impressions of the beer and maybe a rating. Douglas?
It's a good beer, and that's for sure. I would rate this somewhere between the 3.75 and the 4.
Yeah, cool. James?
If you want to...
Oh, sorry. Yeah, Douglas. No, you were saying.
No.
Go right in.
I will put my definite mark on Untapped.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I can agree roughly with what Douglas rate this within overall. Yeah, I think that's a fair rating. But I think within the lager style, I'd be tempted to be like 4.25 to 4.5. I think it's a very good example of the style.
Yeah,
true.
Karen?
I think I have to go with Douglas, somewhere between 3.75 and a 4. Yeah, really nice. And I wish I had more.
Yeah. If I rate this style of beer, I rate it 4.25 because it's amazing. I can drink this all day, as I said before. It's great. Thank you, James.
No problem.
I'm gonna probably go with a 4.25 as well, for the very simple reason. This is for me, like when you think of if you think like I want to go drink a beer, not like I want to have a stout, I want to have a double IPA. I have this urge for a nice sour. No, when you think like, you know what, I really need to crush a beer right now, this is what you think of. This is what you have in mind when you think of a beer. And when I started drinking, like, I don't know, how old were you guys when you had your first Pilsner, your first macro Pilsner?
15.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah,
16 or something.
Douglas, you were 8.
I'm a little bit older than you guys, so it was normal in my youth. I think I was about 4 years old. No. I think 12, 13 or something.
Yeah, exactly. So remember when back in the day, we're talking about more than 20 years ago, when things like Hertog Jan and Grols and Heineken, they were of a completely different quality than what they are right now. When brewing a good macro Pilsner was still actually, of a lot different quality than it is these days.
Yeah.
this is kind of that, this is that sort of romanticized idea of what that, what it was like when you were drinking a Pilsner back then. And if it's not a Pilsner, it's a Helles, but you know what I mean? That's what you were thinking. That this is that same feeling you had when you were like 17, you were hanging out with your friends, you're crushing this shit straight out of the can or the bottle, and you had a few gulps and you went, that's what this is. So that's, 4.25.
Yeah, this is a premium beer.
Yeah,
premium ale.
I would definitely like to try this with a great steak on a barbecue.
Oh. Douglas.
I know exactly
Sorry,
what you mean.
guys.
No, but yeah,
Let's do a winter barbecue.
I'm all for it. I'm all for it.
So James, when we once will visit you in Sweden, this will be the first beer we're going to start with.
If they still do it, yes. Either that, or I'll take you guys to Malmö Brewing Company, because there's a good chance they'll have it on tap down there, and you can try some of the Malmö Brewing Company stuff.
Even better.
Yeah,
love that.
I've never had this one on tap, but I did have the Finn Pilsner on tap, and that was really good. But I like that this one, to me, compared to the Finn Pilsner, is very, very dry. Whereas this one, I like the fact that this is a bit more of that biscuity, malty kind of thing. But Hyllie have actually, these guys have just got a site for a new brewery. So I don't know if they're going to have like an on-site tap room or something like that. We'll need to see. But they've got a new brewery right in the centre of Malmö, just to the north of the train station now. So maybe we can go and visit that if they open it up.
Sounds
brilliant.
brilliant.
Sounds good.
Sounds great.
Sounds awesome. Yeah. Hey guys, so we basically covered the entire beer, and in a nutshell, it sounds like we didn't really had a lot to say about the beer itself, except for what sounds like simple and basic things. But honestly, that's what this beer is supposed to be.
True.
It's not supposed to be.
It's not rocket science.
No, exactly. This isn't rocket science. This isn't like I need to find 50,000 things in terms of nose and palate. No. It's just, it is what it is. No. It's beer.
But it's great brewed. It's great brewed beer.
It's exemplary. James, thank you very, very much for supplying us with this amazing little Helles, which, like Remy just did, I already crushed it, because that's what it is. It's fucking crushable.
Little bit, yeah. And I think I think it's one of the things you have to say about this. It's a bit of a shame when you think about it, because these beers are one of the more technically difficult ones to brew. But then when it comes down to it, they're not the most complex in flavour, but they are some of the most satisfying beers to have if they're done properly. And that's exactly what this one is.
True, I totally agree.
True,
very well put, and that's a great way to end this live stream, I think. James, thank you. What?
I want to say one more thing.
Go for it, Douglas.
James, special thanks not only for this beer, but for all the other beers you gave us.
Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you for the Dutch ones that you guys gave me as well. And sorry that I mixed up who gave me what.
It'll be fine. Next time ask in chat if you want to review one, and we'll let you know. It'll be fine.
Of course. Are there some comments left?
No, we actually don't really have any comments. Everybody was basically just hi, goedenavond, how's everything? People have been watching, so I do want to say, Craft Beer Specialist said, sounds like an awesome beer. I think we were just way too entertaining and way too riveting for people to want to interrupt us. But I do want to thank everybody for watching this short little live stream, which is basically just a somewhat longer review. Well, for James, this is his standard length, so he's used to this.
For a review, yes.
But this has been amazing. I think actually James froze. It seems like he's. James froze.
Yeah.
Well, James, if you can still hear us, and otherwise you can see the end of the video, I do really want to, again, thank you very much for being part of this live stream. It was amazing. I feel like I'm talking to a goddamn picture right now, but anyway.
And he's gone.
And he's gone. Well, we're just going to wrap it up, and if he pops back in, it'll be fine. But James, thank you very much for supplying the beer, and thank you for joining us in this review, giving us some of your feedback on this. Billy just quickly drops in with the last comment. Thanks for the nice review. Well, we enjoy doing it, because this has been the first time in God knows how long that the entire Dutch Beer Collective has been together.
Binnenkort.
We have to do this. Ja, binnenkort weer. We kunnen even nog sneller Nederlands. Haha.
Ja.
Binnenkort weer een keer. Misschien, ja, wat wil je zeggen, Ducky?
Ik heb vandaag natuurlijk die Metzens voor ons geregeld.
Ja.
Dus livestream. Als we het toch over primeurpraat hebben, dan gaat waarschijnlijk de brouwer gaat ook meedoen. We gaan nog niet vertellen welke brouwer en we gaan nog niet vertellen welke brouwer het is.
Maar dat is helemaal goed.
Maar het is een Metsen in ieder geval. Dat is ook zo'n vergeten stijl.
Heerlijk.
Ik krijg net een berichtje door. Jim die stuurt net internet being shitty. Ik zeg nog wel even snel. That's okay, we're wrapping up. Thanks
Maar
for
dit moeten we
joining.
inderdaad wat vaker doen. En ja, ik moet eerlijk toegeven, ik ben geen extreem langer live tuber. Maar ja, ik vind het af en toe wel even leuk om dit soort dingen weer te doen.
Zeker.
Oh, daar is hij weer.
Hey,
he's still
he's back.
He's back.
We were just wrapping up. No, we were just saying that we're definitely gonna do more of these little live streams in the future. Whether they be just kind of short or long, you know, whatever we're gonna do. I might, by the way, I'm not promising anything. Do a generic hangout on Sunday evening. Just throw up a link, and we'll just can drink a few beers and have stupid talk, which is always fun. But that's a caveat, you know. We'll see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right.
Well, it's good, yeah. But
Anybody?
I was just going to say, no, it's good that you guys enjoyed this one, and this is a very local brewery to me, so it was quite cool to give you guys this one. So yeah.
Amazing.
Hopefully they've got their own bar when you guys get up here. So
we hope so.
That should be nice.
Looking forward to doing that. Does anybody have anything else to add?
Nope.
Bum.
Nope.
I'm just going to finish it.
Just finish it. Once again, James, thank you very much for the fall and beer. It was amazing. And what was that? Somebody destroyed. Oh, I thought somebody destroyed. But yeah, again, thank you so much for the fall and beer. And see everybody next time. Cheers, guys.
See you next time.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Bye.